So hi guys, this is Future Donna K here, and basically I just want to hop on because I realized when I was filming in the Seven Sisters clips that it was quite windy and my audio was quite muffled. So instead of like having you guys suffer through bad audio, I just wanted to jump on and tell you what this video will cover, which includes where are the Seven Sisters cliffs, how to get to the Seven Sisters cliffs from London, and things to do in the Seven Sisters cliffs, including the best viewpoints, which is what everyone wants to go and see when they go to the Seven Sisters. And I'll also go over why I think a guided tour to the Seven Sisters is great for people who are non-walkers or are visiting London but have a limited time and they would like an expert guide to take them around the area. So if you like the sound of that, stick around and watch the video full way through. Give me a like if you find this video informative. Notification on if you're visiting London, and let's get into it. So guys, today I'm doing a day trip from London to the Seven Sisters cliff, and we're going via Brighton. So at the moment I'm in Brighton and I'm going to show you what to expect and what you'll see visiting the Seven Sisters. Basically I'm doing a tour, so I booked my tour through Get Your Guide, and this is a local Brighton tour that's taking us to Seven Sisters. So I hope you guys enjoy. So what are the Seven Sisters cliffs? The Seven Sisters are basically a range of chalk cliffs rising out of the English Channel, and they form part of the South Downs in East Sussex. They are also within the South Downs National Park. The Seven Sisters were created when ancient rivers cut valleys into the chalk, creating the seven peaks that you see now. So their unusual appearance have made them famous, and you can see these mysterious cliffs in famous movies like Harry Potter and The Atonement. Or you like me and wondered, why are they called the Seven Sisters cliffs? The actual origin of the name is unknown to this day. There have been rumors and speculation that it was named after seven sisters living on a hill to the original Seven Sisters, the Pleiades, which were mythical daughters of the Titan Atlas. There's actually an eighth cliff. This cliff was caused by erosion, but like most ugly sisters, it has not been recognized. How to get to Seven Sisters? So you can either go via car, which is over a 2 hours journey from London to the Seven Sisters, or you can go via public transport, where you can get a train from London Bridge to Brighton, which is an hour's journey, and from Brighton you get a bus to the South Downs National Park. And the buses that you should hop on are the 12 bus, 12A, but I would suggest getting the 12X because it gets there much faster. From the bus stop, then you have a 1.5 kilometer walk through Seaford before you reach the cliffs. Now, what I did, I took a tour, and someone actually greeted us at London Bridge. Once everyone was there at London Bridge, he took us on the train and we got to Brighton, and from Brighton we got into a minivan or a mini bus basically that took us through the South Downs Park and then on to Seven Sisters cliffs. So those are the options that you can go via if you're trying to get to the Seven Sisters. Whilst the Seven Sisters are not as famous as the cliffs of Dover, they are undoubtedly the most beautiful chalk cliffs in England, and there are plenty of places to get amazing views when you go to the Seven Sisters. However, I'm going to highlight the 6 best viewpoints in the Seven Sisters area for you to check out. So Beachy Head is basically the most popular stop on the Seven Sisters walk. It's England's highest chalk cliff, measuring 530 feet, and basically from Beachy Head you will see panoramic view over the ocean and the other sisters. Like, once you get there, you'll understand why it's one of the most popular spots. Another famous viewpoint in the Seven Sister area is the Beltooth Lighthouse, and basically you can get a really amazing shot of the Seven Sisters with the lighthouse in front of it. The lighthouse has been actually in movies, and it's been looking at the Seven Sisters and the ocean and beyond since 1834. It was actually moved in 1999 due to coastal erosion, and it's now a bed and breakfast. So if you're thinking of staying in the South Down County area, it is a great option if you're looking for a unique bed and breakfast experience. So the seaford head view is basically the classic view that everyone will see on Instagram or any pictures when they're looking for the Seven Sisters. This is what basically you will see, because you will see all the Coast Guard cottages lined up on the hillside and then the Seven Sisters in the background. And this was actually one of my favorite views because you can see all Seven Sisters lined up beside each other, where when you are on Beachy Head you're looking down and you can only see into the ocean. You can't see the faces of the chocolates. So this is why this view was really spectacular and very dramatic, and it's like, wow, the English coastline is beautiful. Burling Gap is basically a pebble beach that you can walk down to and just see the rocks and the ocean, and it's very windy, so do be careful when you're going down there. But it's like a really great like pebbly beach to just go out and see, and it's a different view because you can pick up all the pebbles, you can see basically touch the chalk of the cliffs, and basically experience like, wow, look up, these cliffs are like so dramatic when you're looking at them. The next viewpoint is Devil's Dyke, and basically it is so different from the Seven Sisters cliffs, but it's spectacular. It's more eerie and it's like a valley going down. But one of the things when I was visiting that I did notice is like there were a lot of local people jogging in the valley, walking their dogs. So it's more, you won't get as many tourists as you would get at Beachy Head. The majority of people that were there were actual like locals, because everyone was jogging and walking their dog. There were not many like people like taking photos or anything like that. So I think it's like a really different look on the Seven Sisters, but it's still a great viewpoint. So I learned a lot about the Devil's Dyke. I want to say the Devil's Dyke, that is one of the dry valleys in the UK. It's a dry valley in the UK, and actually in winter they actually have animals coming back to graze, because they found that grazing animal actually increases the population in ecosystem of the plants in that area, and it helps the bee population in the UK, which currently is quite low. So there's so many agricultural things going on to help all the ecosystem, like the ecosystem of the plants and the ecosystem of the farm and the farmers. So it's so interesting. If you're into science, this will get you going. So the last viewpoint is the South Downs Way. And basically this long footpath has a lot of viewpoints of the Seven Sisters. So you can stroll through the pastures and view the Seven Sisters in the distance. So those were the top 6 viewpoints in the Seven Sisters area. And now we'll move on to what you can do in the Seven Sisters. One of the things that you will notice from the area is that instead of commercializing the area to make money off the attraction, it's actually left untouched in its natural state, and whatever you see in the South Downs and in the Seven Sisters is basically been kept for hundreds of years, and this gives you an opportunity to see England's coastline in its natural beauty. So that's one of the things that you will realize when you go to the South Downs and visit the Seven Sisters. It's like, it's naturally beautiful, nothing has been done to the area, and that's why I think it's one of the most tranquil and peaceful day trips from London, because you can walk, you can picnic. While I was there were like this old couple, they had their little fold out chair, and they literally was like parked on Beachy Head, and the both of them were just sitting looking off into the ocean, and you saw hikers, like lots of hiking, lots of walking was going on, people just walking like normally. Yes, people were taking pictures, but like once you're there and you're looking out into the ocean, it's so peaceful, you just want to stay there. Like people had their blankets and just laying out, but I just remember this old couple, they were just like sitting, and people were walking around them, walking behind them, and they just sat there looking together like husband and wife, like looking into the ocean, so peaceful. And I was like, wow, this is so like, it makes you forget the hustle and bustle of London. So that's one of the things that you will realize in this area. It's super natural, it's super untouched, it's not commercialized. So here are some of the things that you can do in the Seven Sisters area. You can hike the South Downs Way, which is one of England's 16 national trails. You can go paddleboarding, you can relax on the beach, or you can do the Seven Sisters Cliff Walk. This coastal trail can be approached from a variety of ways. If you're only interested in the views, you can basically walk along one or two of the cliffs and you would be fine and dandy. If you are however, interested in the full experience and want to tackle the coastal trail, which is around 13 miles long, you can start your route from Seaford to Eastbourne, which takes around 6 to 7 hours. You can also tackle the trail from the other way, which is Eastbourne, and head east. So now guys, I'm going to be talking about the group tour that I went on and what you should expect if you're going on a group tour and if it will be for you. So basically, if you're like me that just want to relax, enjoy the view, you don't want to plan out anything, how to get there, the mapping and all this, you just want to take in and have an expert guide you and tell you about the surroundings, this tour is for you. Because I was afraid of getting lost. I get lost really easily and I didn't want to go by myself and get lost in such a big park. So I decided to book a guided tour. And basically what they did was they collected us from London Bridge. We got on the train, we got to Brighton, and then from Brighton we got into a minivan or a minibus. It wasn't a big group tour like some 50, 60, 100 people. It was less than 10 people, myself included. And then he basically drove us through the South Downs to different parts of the South Downs, like to Devil's Dyke. Also we stopped at 2 of the like older Neolithic drawings. We also stopped at the Long Man of Wilmington. I hope I'm saying that correctly. And these are like 3 spots that I know that without a guide I wouldn't have seen, because they are so far. And yes, you can take the bus, but they are so far out from how you get to Seven Sisters to get to these two like Neolithic drawings. Like, it would be very difficult for me to find them. So that's one thing that I was really appreciative for. And I also learned about the chalks that make up the cliffs, and how the park is actually trying to reintroduce livestock, help preserve the bee population and stuff like that. We also went and overlooked a section which was quite near Devil's Dyke, where you can actually overlook what is known as the Champagne or the sparkling region of London, where they make all the sparkling wine in the UK. So that was really great to experience as well. The guy who Lawrence, who was our guide, Brighton and Beyond, the tour company was named, he was really lovely. He had a wealth of knowledge about the area and to take us around. So I think a group tour is really great if you're a non-walker, you just want to relax and just enjoy the scenery, enjoy the view. You also want a little information and education about the area. I think a guided tour is perfect for you. But guys, don't be stupid trying to get a photo to put on your IG and fall off the cliff because you're standing too close to the edge, because that has happened to people before. So just be very cognizant of keeping a few feet back from the cliff. You're gonna still get epic photos, trust and believe, because I stood a few feet back and I got amazing photos. I could still see in the ocean. You don't need to go all the way forward and kill yourself for a photo or just to get likes. So please be responsible when you're like taking photos, and please be cognizant of where you are on the cliff, because it is eroding naturally. And let's be honest, safety first. You don't want like to die just for a photo. That's not smart, bro. That's not smart. So that's one thing that I just want to warn people, because I was there. That's one of the first things that Lauren said. Don't step too close to the edge because it is eroding. I saw a lot of people, they were stealthy live, like really close to the edge, just to get that photo, just to put on IG. So guys, just be careful, just be smart, mate. Like, just be smart. Your life is worth more than a photo. So that's one thing to bear in mind. So if you like this overview of what to expect when you're visiting the Seven Sisters Cliffs, give my video a like, subscribe, and keep tuned for basically more videos on London travel, London content, and Fuji gear review.